Christina Weitzel. I am a local real estate agent here in Mineral Point. I serve on the local chamber board along with a task force, which is geared towards bringing in new businesses. And obviously being a local real estate agent, I have my hands in a lot of different things, from helping families move in to business owners move in. So as far as my role is kind of just connecting all the pieces and the people to Mineral Point and how they can best be suited. COVID kind of threw us into a valley, and now we're kind of climbing up the mountain and heading to a peak. But since then, we lost the medical center that was downtown, the pharmacy that was downtown, and the chiropractor. They all moved up to the business district. A lot of people thought that was going to be a really bad thing because, it brings a lot of people downtown. But it's turning out to be, I think, a blessing, because the medical center will become a grocery store. The pharmacy will become something amazing, maybe for children, maybe not, they're still deciding. The chiropractic will become another office. So it's bringing a different, new, fresh breath of life here. So I've seen a lot of changes in the 5 years, a lot of buildings kind of turned over ownership, bringing in new, fresh blood that are ready and willing to run businesses in downtown. It is like living in a Hallmark movie. It's very charming. People come and fall in love with Mineral Point. And I think that's what makes it really different, is a historic town such as Mineral Point, people just gravitate towards it. So living here is in a way like living in a storybook in a Hallmark movie, where people just gravitate towards it. We get a lot of tourists here as well, because it is a historic art community. We get a lot of tourists, but we're also very geared towards the residents. Our schools are amazing. Family life here is amazing. So I personally think it's a really good mix of, we have lots of good tourists, but we have a good quality of life for the residents. Yeah, we have bed and breakfast and a lot of Airbnb, VRBO, vacation rentals. A lot of cool, unique ones. I actually own one that's an 1849 home. It was a carriage house that turned into a home, and people love staying there because it's like, staying in a piece of history. A lot of cute, unique ones in town. We are definitely doing a lot more to bring people in, reaching out a lot further into bigger cities. Mineral Point's made it to the top 20 of small towns multiple times, so that's really helped our tourist count. And I would say the tourists have changed in some regards and some not. Like, the regards now is we have a lot of tourists coming in that are taking art classes at Shake Rag, that want to come and see the historic buildings, where before maybe everybody was just coming for the galleries and the pottery shops. Now people are coming for everything: the galleries, the dining. Our restaurants are fabulous, the art classes, and just the views and the relaxation that Mineral Point offers. We have some really fun events here. The one that I love the most is candlelight shopping. It's the first weekend in December. We line the high street with candles and bags, and the shops stay open late. The restaurants are open late, and it's just like the best way to celebrate the holidays. So that's my favorite one that tourists love, but also the locals really love. We also have an amazing 4th of July celebration that starts with a run, a 2 or 5 mile run walk, big parade, music, pie, social, fireworks, like the whole shebang. Again, another good touristic one and another good local one. And a really fun local one is our street party that we started doing a couple of years ago, where we bring a band out, shut down High Street, and have a fun party dancing. Obviously, tourists are welcome to come to that, but it's one that the locals really come out to. I think the arts here are incredible, right? It's just something that not all small towns have. We have Shake Rag, which is a great art studio that has classes all of the time for young to old, where people just love coming in. And if you're a new artist, you can still develop your skills. Or if you're a full-time artist, you can still come and be with a group of people. So the arts have really changed. The music, we have an amazing opera house that showcases all kinds of different music talents, movies, film festivals, all of that. So it does play a huge impact to who we attract in town. There's a lot of other events that are geared towards tourists that the Chamber, Arts on Mineral Point, Shake Rig puts on. We have a really fun one called Paint the Point, where we have artists from all over the world come in and paint different scenes in Mineral Point and then sell them one weekend. And that brings a lot of tourists in, and a lot of artists come in for that as well. So we have events almost every month, I would say, here in Mineral Point. I would say the Chamber has done a really good job encompassing all of our businesses in town. And I think that's a really big piece of advice, because some chambers, I think, maybe can gear towards the more touristic businesses and forget about the local automotive shop, where our chamber really embodies the entire group of businesses that make Mineral Point one. So get involved with all your businesses, see what's going on, because each business has something special to offer. And it makes your town what your town is because of those businesses. I get calls all the time, somebody wanting to move into town. And it goes into a lot of different reasons. Your families want to move into town because our schools are really good and people have heard about them. People that are from the cities want to move into town because they drive into town and see our high street and they're like in love with it. And it is a small enough community where they can feel involved in it. So I get calls all of the time with people moving in from all kinds of different places. I think last year I can count at least 10 different states of people that have moved in. You know, raising a family in Mineral Point is a really special thing as well. I can still trust my kids to be able to ride downtown on their bikes, and I can trust that other adults have their best interest at heart. So if they're getting into trouble, they're gonna let me know. So raising a family here is really special. But on the flip side, watching my parents retire and my mother-in-law retire, it's really cool to see them still have a group and a place for themselves by volunteering for different events and being able to still be involved in the school spirit stuff, you know, being a retiree as well. So I think that's really special about Mineral Point as well.